guys, it's Mrs. Foltz back again. Today is the day before your exam, and so this is the last video I'll be making for you. Hopefully you guys have been studying, but today I'm going to go over 2 more questions with you. What I want you to do is actually try these 2 questions in your review book on your own first, and then come back and watch the video and see how you did afterwards. So the 2 questions I'm going to be doing are question 36 on page 13, and then question number 34 on page 23. So again, try those 2 questions on your own. One more time, it's page 13, question 36, and page 23, question 34. So you can pause the video and try those 2 questions and then come back and watch the video and see how you did. Okay? So I'm going to get started. Question 36 says, a sailor on a boat is heading towards a 120-foot lighthouse, and he measures the angle of elevation from the bow of the boat to the top of the lighthouse, which is 35 degrees. After 5 minutes of continuing on the course, the sailor measures the angle of elevation to be 57. So we can find the distance that the sailor traveled, and then we need to go back and answer this question at the end. But first, let's work on finding the distance. So, hopefully you guys recognize right away that this is going to be a trig question. And so when I think about the height of the lighthouse and this right triangle right here, I know that that is opposite from the 57. I'm going to call this little piece x, and then I'm going to call the distance from here to here y. And so I'm going to find x and y and then subtract them to get this distance that the sailor traveled. So that's pretty easy. Hopefully we know our trig functions, SOH, CAH, TOA, and this is an opposite side and an adjacent side. So I'm going to use a tan function. Oops, and I started writing sine. I'm going to use a tan function, and 57 goes with the function. Oh my gosh, 57 goes with the function. So tan of 57 equals 120 over x, and you would multiply both sides by x, and so I have x tan 57 equals 120, and divide by tan 57. This you just plug right into your calculator. When you get your calculators tomorrow during the exam, they will be in the correct mode for you. So 120 divided by tan 57, I got 77.93. Then I do another tan function. Tan of 35 equals 120 over this time y. I've already done all this work on my own. You should take a minute and make sure you know how to solve for y there. When you get y, after you multiply and then divide by tan 35, you should get 171.38. So the distance of x here, we just calculated that to be 77.93, and then this whole distance is 171, so I'm going to subtract 171.38 minus 77.93, and the total distance traveled then is 159. That is not correct. Okay, sorry guys, this is not 159. This should be, hold on, let me get my pen back. And, okay, so 0.38 minus 77.93 should be 93.45, and that's in feet. Okay, so we've got the distance traveled, that's this distance here. That distance that the boat has traveled is 93.45. All right, so now let's read the question. The question says, what is the average speed in minutes per feet? Now this is weird because normally you would measure in feet per minute, but they're asking minutes per feet. The boat travels during the 5-minute span. So in 5 minutes, the boat travels 93.45 feet. And so in 1 minute, I would just take, I would just take this and divide them. I would say 5 divided by 93.45 should give me in 1 minute, and that is 0.0535, and that is minutes per foot. So 0.05, basically 0.05 minutes per foot. They don't tell us what to round here, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Again, normally if you're measuring speed, you would measure it in distance over time, not time over distance, so that one was a little tricky. Okay, so if you tried this before and you didn't get the right answer, hopefully you see now where you made your mistake. And if you didn't, expect to see a big trig question like this on the exam. I plan on there being one there. I don't get to make the exam, but usually there is a large trig question. So next thing we're going to look at is question number 34. Question 34 says state and graph the points A triple prime, B triple prime, C triple prime, the image of triangle ABC after the transformation. So I wanted to do this question because I wanted to remind you of a few things. When you see a composition of transformations written like this, you need to know that this thing on the inside goes first, then, so this is a dilation, then this is a reflection, then this is a translation, and I do them in order from right to left. The dilation, then the reflection, then the translation. And this dilation is centered at point O, not the origin. So if I'm doing a dilation centered at O with a scale factor of 2, that means basically that each of these points over here needs to move twice as far as they currently are. So from O to A, I need to move A prime so it's twice as far. It's going to be somewhere like here, because if I go from O to A, I have to go down 1 over 2. So then I would go down 1 over 2, and there is A prime. I would do the same thing for B. To go move B twice as far, right now it's 1 unit away, I'm going to move it 1 more unit away. So there's B prime. To move C, I go down 2 over 1, so C prime is going to be down 2 over 1, and there's C prime. Now, I'm just sketching, but on your exam you would obviously use a straight edge to make this triangle look a lot nicer than my triangle. Okay, so that's my first thing. It's a dilation. I'm going to double check in my head. Do the sides look twice as big as they do before? A dilation should make a figure bigger, and yes, I believe they do. This is a reflection over the y-axis. The y-axis is here. The y-axis is also known as x equals 0. So these two things mean the same thing. If I'm going to reflect over the y, I'm moving A twice as far. So basically it's the same distance from the y, but on the opposite side. So there's A double prime. C double prime right now is 1, 2, 3, 4 units from the y. So 1, 2, 3, 4 units in the opposite direction. Oops, that's a C. Sorry, C double prime. And then B double prime, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Would be right here. So there's B double prime. All right, so here is my second triangle after my reflection. And then again, make sure it looks like your figure has been reflected over the y. And it does. A translation, remember, just shifts it. So this is how much I'm going to shift left or right, left/right. And then the second number is how much you're shifting up, that's a U, up or down. Okay, so left would be negative. In this case, it's positive, so this means right 1, down 3. Right 1, down 1, 2, 3. Here's B triple prime. And then A triple prime, right 1, down 1, 2, 3. And then C triple prime, right 1, down 1, 2, 3. Okay, so last time, draw these in. And remember, when you do a translation, if I draw in the vectors that define the translation, they should all be parallel and congruent. And in this case, it definitely looks like that's true. Okay, the last thing I want to point out is it says state and graph the points. So you don't get full credit unless you write the coordinates. So I need to make sure I go back and I list the points here. So A triple prime is at, let's see, I wrote this down before. A triple prime is at -1, 1. B triple prime is at -5, 1. And C triple prime is at -3, -1. This will get you full credit. If you don't list the points, you don't get full credit. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, so that's it for your review for today, but we do have review this afternoon at 3:15 in my room, and it is only 10:48, and it is hot in here. So bring some water, and I'll have the fans going. If I can, I'll move us to the LGI, but no promises. Okay, so if you can't make it today, make sure you're studying, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Our exam is at 8 a.m. Bring pens, pencils, and be ready to work.